All right, welcome Vintage Gamers to Wednesday Night Vintage here on twitch.tv/IMAXLevel1. We've got a brew in front of us. Have not been able to play with SHEOLDRED yet. New card from Dominaria United. Pretty powerful effect. When you draw cards, you gain life. When your opponent draws cards, they lose life. The thing that makes the most sense is, well, how can we do that all the most at once? Wheel of Fortune. 7 triggers for each side. Obviously, we also have Time Twister, so restricted wheel, restricted Time Twister, restricted Windfall. Obviously, Windfall not as powerful as the others two. But we have 3 wheel effects to go with our 2 SHEOLDRED. We have 4 Hullbreachers to make our wheels asymmetrical. Obviously, not kind of a nombo with SHEOLDRED, but just having a large quantity of these effects is going to be good. Also, having things that have some power and toughness to get our opponent down to 14 so they die off a wheel, also going to be important. So I like that. Another thing that Breacher does is let you play a lot of blue cards for Force of Will, which is really good. And we also have a Narset to combo with our wheels. So we have 3 wheels, and we have 7 creatures / planeswalkers that interact with wheel. The rest of the deck is just a Dark Petition Storm Shell, basically. It's dark rituals, it's blue restricted cards, it's black restricted cards, and then it's a Tinker mana base, because we're still going to play Bolas' Citadel, because Bolas' Citadel is broken. The one sus card that's probably not good and you probably should not actually play in your deck is Words of Wisdom. However, this card's sweet, so we're going to try to play it. 1 in a blue, I draw 2, they draw 1. But if there's a Hullbreacher in play, it's I draw 2, I get a treasure. If there's a SHEOLDRED in play, it's I draw 2, gain 4, they lose 2. If obviously, things like that. Nice part about this is it is an instant, and it does play off of 1 colorless, so you can play it on your opponent's turn using your Moxen and holding open Flusterstorm. Like I said, this sideboard is pretty normal looking, blue-black Tinker style cards. Like I said, I took a DPS list and I took a Hullbreacher Saga list, and I kind of smushed them together to a point where we do have the blue count to play Force of Will, and we are playing kind of a combo-based deck. So we have some of the really powerful Dark Ritual, Yawgwas Will, Tendrils kills that the restricted cards enable from the DPS deck. And then we have, obviously, Hullbreacher Twister, which is one of the more powerful things that is happening in the Hullbreacher Saga deck. We got our round 1 pairing, so let's just get right into it. If you'd like to see your deck played on this channel, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. Okay, here we go. Round 1 with SHEOLDRED, and we have a SHEOLDRED. Unfortunately, we don't have a turn. We have a turn 1 play. It's Twister. I just don't know if that's going to be good. If we were on the play, I would probably just fire it off, and I would just go, Underground Sea, Mana Crypt, Twister, and then see what happens. But because we're on the draw, it makes it a little tougher. I think this is like pretty in the realm of mulliganable. Obviously, wishing that this Hercules was something else. Obviously, this Citadel could be something else, and then it'd be a lot happier. I think I'm still gonna try keeping it though. When I try new brews, I like to keep a wider range of hands just to gain knowledge on how the hands are gonna play out. And you have to kind of, when you're playing a whole new deck, you have, what you think is the range of keepable hands, but it might be outside of what you actually first believed. Okay, we're playing an Underground Sea Mirror, and they have a Preordain. So likely to be Doomsday. That's probably the most likely outcome, but it could also be like Esper Tinker Saga, a couple other things. But if our opponent plays no Moxen, I'm probably going to fire off a Twister anyways. Bottom. Interesting. Flusterstorm. All right, well, now I don't think that's the case. I think now we'll hold up Flusterstorm. Not a bad draw at all. Notably, if my opponent Doomsdays and we Flusterstorm them, Time Twister can be lethal. Okay, so it is actually not Doomsday. It looks like it's going to be Esper Tinker Saga, maybe Pio. But Pio doesn't usually play Preordain. Yeah, Dark Ritual, Hullbreacher, Force of Will, all pretty good draws. I think I'm gonna wait another turn. The reason I'm gonna wait another turn is because I don't want to go shields down on this Fluster. I think we're gonna end up playing the Sheoldred before the Twister. We're also gonna actually be pretty close to playing the Citadel for what it's worth. That's kind of an annoying card, but it currently doesn't hamper us too much. Notably non-creature. Don't have any forces in our hand, so it's not the biggest deal. It does mean that if we twist, we can't, force after we both have 7 cards. Okay. So my opponent really didn't have much going on here. We don't want to Citadel into Lavinia because we won't be able to play anything, which is definitely unfortunate. We don't have a removal for Lavinia in the main. We could theoretically have played Dress Downs in this deck, but I didn't choose to. Just have so little room. Maybe you could just change the Words of Wisdom to Dress Downs. That might actually be pretty powerful. I think what I'm going to do is just play a Sheoldred, and that way if they have Force, I have Flusterstorm right here, and then they're at 1 card, 1 top, 1 Lavinia, and probably we're in a decent place. Obviously, they can just, draw Tinker and kill us, but... Kind of interesting. Very slow hand from the opponent, and they didn't play Lavinia on 2 for whatever reason. Maybe they have their own Flusterstorm, but if they had their own Flusterstorm, I wonder why they would play top and not hold open Fluster. I think they have a Force, is my read. Might even have Force and Fluster. Yeah, so Twister gets neutered pretty badly by Lavinia because I won't be able to play Moxen and Forces after. But if we can just hit him with Sheoldred a couple times, then we can just kill them with the Time Twister, which is kind of the nice part about Sheoldred. Don't know where the opponent went. Hopefully they come back. Just maybe we'll see what happens. What do I have? I have 3 Underground Seas in this deck. That's a good number. I also have a Swamp. Yeah, I think that this card is deceptively powerful. Just the fact that it's every turn and every draw, and there's a lot of drawing that happens in Vintage. I don't know where my opponent is. I'm going to send them a message, and hopefully they'll show up. The AFK timer in leagues is not very long anymore. It's something like 5 minutes, so hopefully they come back in time. When was the last time they did something? 2 minutes ago? Probably only halfway through. I'm gonna pause this recording. All right. I have priority. I drew a Sapphire, which I can't cast because it will get countered by Lavinia. So let's jam Sheoldred. They might just have a Swords to Plowshares too, because if they're on Esper Tinker. That's unfortunate. I was kind of hoping. I'm just gonna fetch now. I think it makes more sense to just grab the Underground Sea in case, for some reason they have to chump with this Lavinia and I play a Citadel. So this is a pretty quick clock, right? If they draw for turn, they go to 18. I attack them to 16, and then Twister is lethal unless they can remove the Sheoldred, right? Because they'll draw to death on their turn. That's really fast clock. It's gonna offset my mana crypt flips too. I have drawn 0-drop, 0-drop, but I can up the The storm count, I guess. It's just really large. Yeah, it's a 4/5. So they're in lethal range right now. 7 cards. So if I were to cast Time Twister, they can't actually fluster it because there haven't been enough spells cast. The problem is they can force it, and I can't fluster back. So the problem is the more storm I make, the more storm they get as well, right? So it depends on if I think they have Flusterstorm or if I think that they have Force. If I think they have Force, I'm supposed to play Mox, Lotus, and Twister. If I think they have Fluster, I'm supposed to just Twister. And they also have Spin and Draw. They didn't force this. And it kind of felt like they had Fluster before. I'm going to just try casting this Twister and going for the win. I think they had Fluster. They might have had... I feel like you would force this, though. I gotta be... like, you gotta... I mean, they also have Spin and Draw, so... But if they spin and draw and then cast Force, don't I have Fluster mana? Oh, they have Negation. Oh, that's really bad for you. Do you also have Force? Okay. All right. Well, I guess I need to get the life total here, huh? Okay. All right, okay. That was the use. I think the Shieldred was probably going to win on its own, but oh yeah, this would be the doing it for sure. Thank you for the 23 months. So I'm gonna bring in an opposition agent. And I think I'm gonna take out the swamp. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna leave in Hercules. I typically like Hercules a little bit against the Saga Tinker decks. I could theoretically have a Dismember to kill a Lavinia. It's kind of annoying, though, because it makes me want to keep in more lands, because you need 3 lands to Dismember a Lavinia. I kind of don't even want to. Maybe it's better than a Hercules Recall still. All right. Took a first game against what the Zoomers call the best deck in the format. No fast mana here, unfortunately. Got a wheel and deal, but no mana. Throw this one back. Yeah, I mean, this hand's gonna lose to like a turn 1 Lavinia, but this hand definitely does powerful things. Sure. Are we gonna get the no downside Words of Wisdom on turn 1 here? All right, so I'm gonna go Petal and then Lotus and then are they gonna? I mean, there's no way you can force this Lotus. I have an active Petal representing Flusterstorm. That's just not something you're allowed to do. Okay. So I can use Lotus, 2 blue, Soul Ring, Narset, Words of Wisdom after. I could just start by brainstorming. I can brainstorm with Narset on the stack. I'm just going to start with Narset. I'd like to give myself the option of playing a Words of Wisdom after this Narset if possible. Well, I guess this doesn't stop because they haven't drawn a card this turn. So I guess I'd have to play it on their turn. So I wouldn't have even been able to do that. All right, so my opponent did have Force Pitching Force. I am definitely not super happy to cast Words of Wisdom here or Brainstorm using my pedal, but I think I have to. Okay, I mean, I have drawn worse cards. Okay, I think... Now the question is, do we just cast this Words of Wisdom and give them a card? Definitely wish it was Preordain. Don't think I would even do it now because I don't want them to have the card for their turn. Yeah, it's not the best. I mean, it would have been sick if Narset resolved. Yeah, it's not good. I would probably not recommend Words of... I guess you don't want to play Dress Down in this deck because it's a Hullbreacher plus SHEOLDRED deck. So you'd probably just play Ponder and Preordain. I am going to cast this at their end step, though, for sure. I mean, theoretically, if you Twister, giving them a card doesn't matter, right? All right, look at that. I don't actually have a red mana, but if I had a red mana, it would be better. All right, perfect. Should I cast... If I cast Cabal Ritual, I don't have Threshold. I'm off by 1. I could cast Cabal Ritual, and then I could cast Demonic, and then I could cast Yogwill. Yeah, I kind of think I want to do that. I don't really think I care about playing around Flusterstorm. I think I just want to go in on a Yogwill here. I get Yogwill, I get to play like a land drop, Petal, Lotus, 5 mana, and I can cast Brainstorm into Narset. Just seems... Oh, I can cast Ritual, and then I can do Narset Wheel. Yeah. I could also Demonic Tinker. Yeah. Have the Fluster. Oh, no. Cracking and spinning, looking for a Fluster. It might just be like Demonic Tutor and Narset. Like get a Narset in play, and then they had Force the whole time. Force pitching Hullbreacher. Well, I'm glad I didn't wheel into a Hullbreacher later in this game. We're still a fetch away from wheeling. Not that wheeling is super great with the opponent having no cards in hand, but obviously if my opponent has more Hullbreachers in their deck, things could get dicey. Kind of wish maybe we need to draw our own Hullbreacher first. But they have an active top, which is really bad for us. Oh. I'm also glad I didn't Demonic into an opposition agent. So now I can't fetch for wheel mana, though. And I only have a Ruby left in my deck. Uh-oh, what'd they find? Lavinia? Okay, I don't think we're winning this game. My opponent had triple force of will, which is pretty bad for us. It's kind of hard to beat, you know, triple force of will with a top. It's always gonna be tough. I don't really hate the lines I took either. I think they were fine. Maybe I should have just gone Demonic Tinker. And then I would still have Yogg as an out. I guess now I still have Tinker as an out. So it's kind of the same. But I don't have Tinker as an out because I have an opposition agent. Well, Sheoldred looks real good on this board, let me tell you. Oh my god. This card might just be, like, good as a creature. That is a huge stabilizer. And now a wheel will actually kill them. If I draw exactly Volcanic Island, the wheel is lethal again. This is nuts. Wait. Maybe this card's just good. Okay. So if I can get them to block with opposition agent somehow. I don't know how. I think I can attack, right? Because I'm gaining 2 life and they're losing 2 life. Like, if they want to double block this Sheoldred, by all means. Unfortunately, the opposition agent is going to stop us from actually wheeling for lethal here, but... Alright, maybe I need to bring in... Well, I still can't... I could cast Dismember. Maybe I need to bring in both Dismembers. I didn't think they were on Hullbreacher opposition agent, which they clearly are, so... Uh-oh. 2 Sagas is going to be really bad for us, though, because I didn't really want to play the attacking creature game, and we're somehow forced into that, though they are 4 turns away. I just don't think we can live for 4 turns. They just held everybody back. That doesn't make any sense. Words of Wisdom. Wait, that actually looks really good here. Wait. This actually looks kind of good here. Okay. So... if my opponent makes a construct, it's a 3/3. I'm going to just hold my Sheoldred back. Am I supposed to cast Words of Wisdom? That is the next question. I think the answer is yes. It's going to increase the clock by quite a bit. Well, theoretically, I can wait until they make actions, right? Like, if I cast it first, they have the ability to, you know, spin their top, find the right card, maybe Source of Plowshares my Sheoldred in response. Like, I think, like, theoretically, you could wait on this words and have it be at a different time window. But yeah. I think I would rather try to draw into something that does something this turn, like a Time Walk or a Volcanic Island. No, I'm definitely casting it. All right. Like a Time Walk, yeah? So now it's a 3/3. If they were to... I think I'm going to cast this Time Walk while I have the extra floating mana. I can also Dark Ritual and beat a Flusterstorm in response, which is really nice. Man, everything is coming up perfectly. The greatest use of Dark Ritual. So I don't think this attack is good though, because if they block with Lavinia and this construct, then I am still pretty dead, right? So I think I just have to let this go for another turn and draw a fresh one. We need to get them to draw 3 cards. Sounds like a ancestral. Ooh! That's lethal, yeah? They'll die on their next turn. Wait, is Shieldred just gas? They drew a card off of top. That loses them 2 life. Wait. Now I still can't attack. I still can't attack because if they double block, it's still pretty bad if they double block, right? Maybe not. I can get to wheel. I guess so. I haven't already won because my opponent can Swords to Plowshares, right? But they're drawing top for turn. And they can't spin. So I think I just win. So I don't have to attack. Because their top cost them 2 life, and we know they're drawing top, they had to spin. Oh, they had to spin. They messed up. If they had spun with top, held priority, drew with top, drew the Force of Negation, spun the top down, then they could. Then I might have to attack. But now that when they draw their next card, they just lose. Unless the card they draw is Swords to Plowshares, and they Swords to Plowshares their opposition agent, or their Saga token. Or they have like some kind of crazy 0 or 1 drop that I don't know about. Shieldred is so good. What the? Are we serious right now? This just single-handedly won. And Words of Wisdom was good. Okay, Words of Wisdom was not terrible. It was really bad though. Okay, here we go. Round 2. That's unfortunate. If this was a black mana, I would snap this hand off. Just get the Shieldred with the Force and everything. Opponent's probably on Dredge though, so we kind of need a combo. This hand could be good. This hand could be good. They're gonna need to have exactly Force of Will. It's pretty good for us. They will. So the way Dredge works with Hullbreacher is not super good for us. If they have a Dredger, the Dredge is replacing the draw, so they get around the Hullbreacher effect. But the very first one should still be good. And also we have a Words of Wisdom, so how... I actually think we put back a Hullbreacher because the second Hullbreacher against Dredge is going to be no good anyways. So I think what we're going to do is just hope they don't have a Force and go for it. And then we can also hit them with the Words of Wisdom after the Hullbreacher. Shieldred gained us a bunch of life, dealt them a bunch of damage, made... Like, Wheel is basically lethal automatically. Because when Shieldred enters the battlefield, they lose 2 life when they draw, and then you attack for 4, and they're already down to 14, and the wheels are just all lethal. So, I was really impressed by our last game. Okay. They didn't pitch any any forces to this powder, which is unfortunate. We're just gonna hope that they don't have a force of will when they activate their powder. Or sorry, when they activate their bazaar. Yeah, Dredge doesn't seem like a great thing for what we're trying to do. But we have a good sideboard for it, so. Breached. No, they always have it. All right, I'm gonna respond with a Words of Wisdom and try to hit my own force. I didn't hit it. Unfortunate. Well, maybe we'll draw Time Twister. You can draw Yogwill too, I guess. Double hollow one too. So their hand was bizarre. Double Dredger, Force of Will, double hollow one. I mean, Dredge is completely unbeatable. I can draw Tinker. That's not gonna do it. Yep. If this Tendrils was a Sheoldred, we could have played it that turn, and then we could have blocked. All right. I do think we have a lethal Tendrils if we draw Yogwill, right? No, maybe not. Merchant Scroll. Okay. Merchant Scroll, Ancestral. Gonna have to hit Time Walk Yogwill or something like that. Does this keep us alive? I don't know. How much was this? That was almost enough. Damn. I only needed 3 more Storm there. Four, 8, 10, 16, 19. So if they hit a chill, I die still. And this is why you can't play Reanimator, for whoever asked why you can't play Reanimator in Vintage. It's because this exists. All right, I'm not dead. So if I draw Yogwill, do I win? Probably close. Oh, wait. They didn't gain any life. I definitely win. So Demonic and Yogwill are all winning. Time Twister is still a thing. Wheel would kill me. Wheel would not be good. Yeah, I mean, we're still alive in this game for what it's worth. That Tendrils wasn't terrible. It wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. Yo, what's up, Wheaton? Thank you. We're still playing Magic. Let me go fetch. Words of Wisdom. Oh no, are they gonna dredge into a Creeping Chill? Oh my god, we hit the Yogwill. Come on! That's just so sad. If it was a Preordain, we would win. But it was a Words of Wisdom. That's so sad. We would have won with a Preordain, but a Words of Wisdom killed us. Damn it. It was pretty unrealistic that my opponent didn't hit any Creeping Chills until then anyways. But, yeah. Well, Words of Wisdom was actually quite good last game. And it wasn't even bad this game. The first Words of Wisdom, where I got to cast at instant speed to try to throw off Force, was actually kind of good. That one unfortunately killed us. All right, well, I got Ley Lines and Tabernacle and Surgical and Needle and Sphinx. 8 card sideboard. And then I'm going to board out Hercules and Citadel and Swamp and I don't really know what else. I think maybe this is in a Sheoldred matchup. Maybe it is a Sheoldred. Maybe it's fine. Not really sure. I guess we don't really need Mental Misstep here. I guess they are in Cabal Therapy, but I don't know if I care. Let's just do this. Yeah, Citadel is still fine. I mean, I think this is worth exploring. I mean, I still think this hand's probably good enough. It doesn't have the Ley Lines or anti-Dredge cards, but I think it still has a powerful plan A. I mean, they kept a 7-card hand. It's less than ideal. I think I'm willing to overdraw here in case I hit like powerful Mox in hand. Okay. So we can still Hullbreacher Twist. So it's not looking bad. Oh, I had exactly 7. I did the math wrong. Okay. I mean, unfortunately, we're probably going to get griefed is the issue. So we might have to force pitching Hullbreacher. And then we'd go a little short on Ritual, Sheoldred Twister. They did have a Dredger. They don't have a Force, though, because they clearly are F6. Wait a second. Did we just hit it? So we can go Ritual. Ritual 1 to 3 to 2 to 5 to 6 to 7 is exactly enough. Okay. I mean, we can get Mindbreak Trap this way, but... All right, Twister. Come on, man. What is it like? They just always have it. Dredge players just always have it. They did miss on that Dredger right there. Wait, how did they get another stink? Oh, they had a stinkweed in their hand. I don't know. They just have 7-card hands with too much action every time. Not much I can really do about it. Oh, I mean, everything is bad against Dredge. Like, the only thing that's actually good against Dredge is Leyline. So maybe I'm supposed to mulligan to a Leyline. I can see that being reasonable, but I don't know. It was like a powerful enough combo hand that I felt like it was worth trying. But, I mean, when Dredge players are keeping 7-card hands in both games, like, you're just going to always lose. It's just how it is. All right, round 3. We're up against 4-0 OK MV. Let's see what they have for us tonight. We've got turn 1 Hullbreacher. Love to see it. Turn 1 Hullbreacher, turn 2 Sheoldred. Yawgmoth's Will that doesn't do anything. I would always prefer to get pizza from a local joint. Find the dirtiest hole in the wall place. All right, what do you got for me, OKMV? Deathrite Shaman? It's always Deathrite Shaman. I gotta use my mana efficiently here, so I'm just gonna play the Hullbreacher. They forced it, so now we can slam a Sheoldred. And then maybe we can even buy back our Hullbreacher later with Yawgwill. This does seem like a rougher matchup for Sheoldred, just because my opponent's playing Oko. I mean, this is gonna... If my opponent doesn't have an Oko and this Sheoldred connects, it's another lethal Time Twister. It's kind of nuts how fast these Time Twisters are just lethal. I was like kind of worried about it not being enough. Like I didn't think this would be like a good enough combo, right? But it doesn't seem that way. It kind of seems like it's just always going to murder them. So if we were to Yawgwill, we would have enough to play a Hullbreacher, and then next turn we could twist. What is that card? That is that's fair. It's a fair point, opponent. I agreed. What is that card? It is a mythic rare. They forced it. Jeez. Opponents just got all the forces tonight. All right, well. So they have 3 cards left. They get to eat the land, so my Yawgwill is bad. And they have Ancestral. Awesome. All right, not our knight, apparently. That's so brutal. It's really hard to win a blue matchup where you get force Ancestral. Yeah, all right. Well, things are bad. Certainly it was looking good for us if the shield had resolved. But didn't happen. The Deathrite eating the land out of the yard was pretty bad for us too. Don't really know how we come back from this. It's kind of have to be our own Ancestral, right? Ancestral into lands, Time Walk, Hullbreacher, Twister or something. Oh man, come on. How is Bugs so good? Bug, best deck in the format? All right. You got me. Island, Sphinx, Dismember, Opposition Agent? I don't know. Nah, probably just Island, Sphinx, Dismember. Kind of hate Mystical. Vamp, I guess. Probably fine. Hmm. So Bug is 4-0. What a world. It's an interesting hand. I think I'm gonna keep it. Certainly has problems, but maybe this is not a good idea. Too late. All right. I have so many lands in my deck now. Should be fine. Oh, it's not Bug. It's 4-color. All right, then we're great. Then we're in good shape. We're just gonna slam this Shieldred on turn 1 here. And I can fetch a basic swamp. Okay. The battle begins. Obviously, they could besiege you, my swamp, but that's fine. Volcanic, Ragavan, Lotus. What'd they draw? They drew Narset. See? That's a good draw for your Lotus. And they found an Oko. So now if I attack with my Shieldred, they get a treasure and they get to play Oko and Oko my Shieldred. I mean, man, that's a good top deck. And if I don't, they just get to do another Narset and then they play this the next turn. All right, I mean, whatever. We've got a top to make sure that the Ragavan gets a bad card, and then we can draw the card we want. So we got that going first, I guess. I had thought we were like super in a great spot actually after we probed them, but Narset kind of ruined it. All right. These cards are not good. If they cast Dark Ritual, is it bad for me? No, but I guess the plus side here is our opponent's Ragavan is getting rid of all the bad cards for us. Very nice of them. They could also just cast like Expressive Iteration here if they feel like that's better. I don't know. It just kind of makes sense to me that they would just slam Oko. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I mean, they just get to play Oko next turn and we're pretty dead. So I guess we have to draw. Thankfully, I guess we have to counter this. I guess we could have been able to force Oko because we spun into it. That's interesting. Well, now I don't have to let them... Trying to figure out if I should attack anyways. I don't think so. Well, they go to 10. I don't think I want to give... Well... Nah, I'm just gonna hold back. All right, so now they have Iteration or Oko. I could force the Oko. I could also... Well, I'm not going to be able to Dark Ritual Twist right away. But I think I am going to force this Oko. I mean, we got really lucky this game, right? We drew multiple forces off this top. All right, well, we're still alive. And we have a lethal Time Twister next turn. They're going to cast Expressive Iteration, though, which will be problematic for sure. Yeah. All right, so my opponent is going to cast Expressive Iteration, which doesn't actually draw cards. And then we'll have to see how bad it goes for us. This doesn't cast very many things, though. Card just seems really powerful. We're still at the mercy of, like, Collector Roof pretty badly. They found a wasteland. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to go for it. They're going to have force or misstep. Well, we wanted all of the cards that we were drawing. So we didn't know the third card down. Fire it off. They have 3 unknowns. Is one of them they have force blue card. I can't really give them top, unfortunately. Maybe I can. They go to 7, they go to 5. I can't really give them top. I think I have to wait. Definitely going to attack next turn. Yeah, it's so big. Stop. That's rude. Oh, I know that there's a Sheoldred on top of my library now, so I'm definitely going to attack. They can't cast a Sheoldred. It'd be bad if they could cast a Sheoldred, though. Well, I mean, all they have to do is draw an Oko, right? There's a UC in this deck? How can there be a UC in this deck? There's a Beseiju and a Wasteland. There can't possibly be a UC in this deck. Is there a UC in this deck? Do colors just not matter? No, there's no UC. Oh, there's a Badlands. Oh, there's a Badlands. Wow. Okay. We'll have to make a judgment call. There's a Taiga and a Badlands. 3 Wasteland, 1 Strip Mine, 1 Beseiju, 1 Taiga, 1 Badlands, 2 Vault, 2 Trop. That is not a functional mana base. There's no way. All right, they played a Wasteland, though, so we're safe. All right, well, I mean, they might have to leave this back to block. So I guess if they just play a Deathray Shaman, that also blocks. Collector Roof. All right, well, I mean, they have to draw the answer like this turn because they won't be able to tutor for an answer. And they won't be able to draw for an answer. This card is like really, really strong. It just seems extremely good. The only way I can put it is just like strong value card. It doesn't look like this text is very good, but this text has just been great. All right, well, now I definitely want Opposition Agent. I didn't realize that the opponent's mana base was so garbage. What else do I want? They only have 1 answer to Sphinx. It's just the 1 Beseiju. We can take out Windfall on the draw here. I don't know. There aren't. I think you should play this card in Doomsday. That's the only place that makes sense. Because black is super hard. Like, you can't play this in a Saga deck. But I think Vintage Doomsday just wants to play this card. You could just play this in the main. I don't even think you need to play it in the side. You might just be able to play this in the main. It's got to be better than Necropotence. Necropotence has been so bad for me in Doomsday. There's only 2 Collector Roofs. There's a 3rd Collector Roof in the board. I'll run this back. The problem is black, right? And the only decks that reliably produce black are Doomsday. I think that's it. We haven't Ancestraled for -6, but we have cast Wheel for -14. I might want to just take out this stupid Tendril stuff. Like, if we just cut Cabal Ritual and Tendril, but then there's like not enough reason to run Dark Ritual is the problem. Like, the reason I put the Dark Ritual, the Cabal Ritual, and the Tendrils is so you can have like a restricted Storm Kill. Because it's pretty easy to go like Dark Ritual, Demonic, you know, do Yogwill, Lotus, Tendrils kill. Like, that happens. I mean, we have a Force. And we have enough mana to play SHEOLDRED or Hullbreacher, so I'm probably going to keep this hand, but... Yeah, if you had 4 LEDs, you would just play a bunch of Echoes. I definitely think that would be pretty easy. But with LED restricted, I don't really like Echo very much. But Dark Rituals haven't been... All right, well, that's the single pass best possible draw. Do I probe them, though? I think we probe. See what they have. We might not hit Blue Force, though. We did hit the blue. So they have Negation and Fluster. Well, I think now we can just... Man, we can't even play a Hullbreacher because they'll just force it. Oh, right. It doesn't get forced. You're right. It's a negation. They'll draw force. I guess they could negate my mana crypt. If they negate my mana crypt and I force back and they fluster, the fluster is for 4. Okay, hold on. Force, ponder. If I force back and they fluster, it's 5 copies, and I can Dark Ritual 3, Dark Ritual 5, Cabal Ritual 6, and pay. And then I have 1 black floating, resolve a mana crypt, resolve a demonic tutor. Or I guess we could just let it resolve. If we force back and they fluster, and then we go ritual. Well, they know my hand. They have probe. They're not even going to they're not going to fluster back. What if I just don't force it, though? I just don't have a way to get through a fluster time walking us. If they fluster back, now we would go Ritual 3, Ritual 5, Ritual 6, DT, Yogwill, Ritual, DT, Tendrils. 3, 5, 6. Okay, they just let it happen. All right, well now we just have to wait. So maybe that was just bad. Isn't it better to just wait and then do it on our turn? Like if we hit a land, they can't fluster DT at all, which just seems a lot better, right? Like now they just can't even fluster me, and I can go do something good. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I should have gotten Swamp. Like I just get an Ancestral here, and they can't do anything about it. If I had gotten Swamp, maybe I could just go Sheoldred. I kind of hate how I played this now. Maybe I should have played Dark Ritual last turn. Well, you know, I guess we could go Tinker and then beat the Fluster with Dark Rituals, but that does leave us pretty all in. It also is really weak to a Wasteland off the top. I don't really like that very much. I don't know if Sheoldred's good enough here. Not convinced. I almost want to get Hullbreacher, but I think they're going to gush this turn. I'm just going to get Ancestral. I think it makes the most sense to me. Yeah, I actually think I kind of agree. I probably should have Dark Ritualed on the first turn if I fetched the problem is I didn't really want to fetch Swamp on the first turn. And I didn't want to fetch Underground Sea, so it's really hard to fetch on the first turn of this game. Dodging Pyro. Well, I know 3 of their cards. Is dodging Pyro the thing we really need to care about? I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah. I have Fluster Gush Expressive Iteration 2 lands. That's so bad for me. And they know about all the rituals. I think I played this game very poorly, so it's probably just going to be a loss on my part. I think I just don't like the way I chose to do any of my lines. Like, they weren't unreasonable, but they just weren't optimal for sure. I don't like it. Yeah, this is just no shot this Ancestral works. Lost all my mana crypt flips too. This is just never working, right? Yeah, they drew Force. I mean, I don't think I was beating Force ever here, right? All right, whatever. I think the place where we made the mistake was we definitely should have Dark Ritual. Well, what does Dark Ritual even do on turn 1? You're like baiting a Fluster, but we don't beat a Fluster by like chaining rituals together, so I don't think that matters. So that wasn't even bad. I don't really actually know what was our better play. Like what were we supposed to do in this game to beat our opponent's draw? I'm sure there's something, but I haven't really heard it yet. I guess we'll have to go back and look. I feel like I fucked up though. I can't gush with Ancestral on the stack. My opponent has a Flusterstorm. They floated mana. That doesn't do anything. That just gets my Ancestral countered. No. I can't. I would literally just get my Ancestral countered if I made that line. So. So I can draw Black Lotus, and I can draw Pearl, and I can draw Petal. Why would they ever, they know my hand log. Why would they would never do that. I don't think baiting makes any sense because there's just no reason they would ever go for it. Maybe if they were scared of a Sheoldred, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that's worth it though. Yeah, I mean, I would be scared of DT and Yogwill. I wouldn't be scared of one card being Sheoldred. I think that's like insane to think someone would ever Fluster there. And it could hurt us in the long run. I lost so many flips this game. Holy moly. All right. That's definitely the problem with Dark Rituals, for sure. You just draw them and they're dead. I'm not sure. I suspect I played this game badly, but I'm not 100% sure what it is yet. All right, let's try again. This one has no mana. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to mulligan. It just felt like there should have been a way to win that game. after probing and hitting a blue card, but I don't know the answer. My opponent didn't murder me, even though they played 4 mana. What does that do? All right, so... we can Tinker on turn 2 with Force backup, so... so we'll just do that. They have Vamp here. They have Brainstorm. The problem is the Tinker line is so bad against Fluster. There might have to be a different choice. I guess maybe I'm supposed to play Underground Sea so I could end up turn Brainstorm if I needed to. I feel like Brainstorm's getting pitched to Force, though. Interesting. So this is a question. If I Force, is it enough bait for them to counter my Force? I don't think I actually care about Mentor, but I think if I Force it, they might Fluster. I guess if they don't have a Mentor, I'm pretty happy too. So maybe it's fine. Probe after Mentor, yeah, sure, okay. They're at 13 life. Maybe a Sheoldred is just good enough from here. So if I Dark Ritual Demonic and then get a Mana Crypt, I can Tinker. Obviously, that runs me directly in and I'll have nothing left over after, which makes it kind of bad. What other choices do I have? Well, I mean, theoretically, you can play a Mentor so you can get the Mentor trigger by keeping your Probe in your hand. They'll be down to 1 card as well. Don't really think I have better options. I think it's best to put the lethal on the stack. I don't think I like DT for Sheoldred. Okay. Why would you do this? Why wouldn't you wait till the Tinker? Okay. Well, now we can draw Moxen and Tinker, so... my opponent's on PO, and they pitched a PO, which would have been reasonable here as well. Oh, they have Yogwill. Okay, are they going to go Pro Brainstorm, or are they going to go Mentor? Looks like they're just going to play Mentor Probe. Interesting. I think I would have gone Probe into Brainstorm if I were them. This is 2 Mana Crypt flips. God damn. This, I should definitely have played Ponder. Oh my lord. Every time I draw this card, I just think to myself, Justin, why did you do this for the memes? Why? I did it for the memes, but it's been so painful. I didn't think it would matter very much. All right, they lost the flip. They're down to 3 cards. Or 3 life, sorry. 1 flip loss is lethal. Oh, I might win on Mana Crypt flips. I almost don't even want to cast the stupid words, because what if they draw PO and they don't even get a Mana Crypt flip? Well, I have 4 Hullbreachers in my deck, and a Narset, and 2 Sheoldred, so, like, theoretically, if there was ever a place where it did work, it would be here. I think it's worth trying. The problem is it's quite bad when I don't have... I'm going to cast it. If they PO, I'm going to be sad. Oh, that worked out pretty well. I can vamp for something. If I go Yogwill, do I have a Tendrils kill? Yogwill, land, ritual, demonic. Nope, I don't have a Tendrils kill. If I get Tendrils, do I have a Tendrils kill? Nope. Alright, I guess it's just Mana Crypt. I probably gave them a Force of Will with my my card, but... Ah. Unfortunate. Alright, Crypt Flip. I also gave them lethal here. If they have one spell after not winning the Crypt Flip. Any Crypt Flips? I would like to decide a game on a coin flip, please. Don't tell the judges. They lost 4 straight flips. Good lord. They had a top in hand? That is a rough life to live. So it's PO. I think we're already pretty pre-boarded for this. I might take the swamp out and play a second Hercules. It's not great, but it's not... Oh, I'll play an opposition agent, actually, instead of a second Hercules. That looks fine. Yeah, we'll play an opposition agent. I mean, that's about how my Mana Crypt does, so... I'm pretty sure we lost 4 flips in a row today as well. The thing is, we had Sheoldred to gain us life every turn. That's what my opponent needed. My opponent needed a Sheoldred to gain them some life. So what do we think? We think we just take out Cabal Ritual Tendrils, Words of Wisdom, and we play 4 Preordains, a Ponder, and then I don't know if are we still keeping Dark Rituals at that point? That's the question. I just like don't know if we can cast Sheoldred without Sheoldred has been cast off of Dark Ritual quite a lot, right? Or am I crazy? Maybe it hasn't been cast that much off of Dark Ritual. It's a good draw. Well, yeah. Words of Wisdom should just be Ponder and Preordain, or Dress Down, or Flusterstorm. Any of those cards are all fine. But I think like there's a bigger problem that maybe the Dark Ritual stuff is bad. That feels to me like a huge issue. I think I'm willing to spin here. Oh, Words of Wisdom pitches to Force, though, chat. Have you considered that? I don't want to play more red. I think playing 3 colors is bad. I don't want to play Dak Faden in 2022. I'm just not a fan of that card. Excuse me? That's a good one. Come on, no. No, 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 no. You didn't just do what I think you did you? That was brutal. I'm jealous. Maybe I want to play that now. All right, well, they're tapped out, so now we can resolve our ancestral. We probably want to resolve our vamp first because I don't think I want to draw words of wisdom. So if we're going to vamp, what are we vamping for here? Probably just another Hullbreacher. Because I don't think I want to wheel with them at 2 cards. I think I want to just get another Hullbreacher in play. I mean, maybe we just get Lotus and that lets us do whatever we want. That's not unreasonable. Could just be Tinker. Well, I have to draw something if I have Lotus, right? I have 2 draws. It does let me do just, I don't know. It kind of feels like if we vamp for Lotus, we're going to draw 3 mana sources. I'm about to draw 2 and Lotus. So, I don't know if that's right. It's reasonable, but I don't know if it's right. I guess if their last card is Force or Mental Misstep, this is quite rough. Oh boy. I mean, we're probably wheeling and dealing. I guess we should spin first. Oh, we hit Yogwell. Hello. So I can't back this with Flusterstorm, but I don't think that matters. If I Yogwill, Lotus, Hullbreacher, if I Yogwill, Lotus, Ancestral Hullbreacher, yeah, that's probably just what we're supposed to do. Then we'll draw Force. Yeah, that should be really good. So I can use, oh, I can't. No, we're not gonna wheel. No. That's not what we want to do. I just want to go Yogwill, Ancestral Hullbreacher. Actually, I might even be able to vamp for Tinker. Vamp for Tinker, Ancestral. I would have to hit 1 mana. What do we know? We know there's well, we would shuffle. If I don't shuffle, I'm drawing top Force. But I think just drawing Force and having a Hullbreacher and then wheeling next turn is just going to be good enough. So Hullbreacher, Ancestral them, and then wheel. Oh shit, you're right. We could do that. And we can cast Force out of our yard, right? All right, you know what? That line is sick. Let's just do it. All right. That's a sick line. Hey, look. Shieldred and Tinker. Wow. I think my line also wins, but yeah, this is good too. That was sick. Hullbreacher is an annoying magic card, huh? Wow. Okay, 5th and final round with this Sheoldred deck. This is certainly a hand where the Dark Rituals look good. I'm gonna keep. This actually might be a reasonable memory jar deck. We are kind of looking for more wheels. And that would make me want to keep the Tinkers or the Dark Rituals though. This actually, like, I'm not a huge memory jar fan. It is the year 2022, but this is probably the closest deck I've seen to a memory jar deck. No, I think Teferi's Puzzle Box is a lot worse. All right, opponent's playing the Saga Gaming. All right, well, you're on Force or Bust here for our opponent. I guess they could have Mental Misstep as well. I guess I can bait Mental Misstep off of Soul Ring. It also saves my land drop. All right, Citadel. All right, we bricked, unfortunately, but there's a Force on top. Should give us some leeway. Sure. This Jewel. Yeah. They have Force backup? All right, well. That's not good. Now they have PO. Okay. Are we going to lose a Citadel Resolve game? Certainly looks like we are. Didn't they pitch a PO? They have 3 POs in their top 20? Man. That's unfortunate. So they drew Force for turn and then combo killed me? Yeah, I even had a land drop to give. You don't have a 4th PO. No, it's a Metamorph. It's pretty hard for them to brick from this point. Can't imagine that would happen. I mean, normally passing with a Force of Will backup is good because it means your opponent didn't force your Citadel, so it means they usually don't have a counter spell to do their thing. But in this case, that was not the case. Wait, Antiquities War is good for us. They brick? Oh, they find they bricked. Okay, we get a turn. What? How did they brick? All right. Okay. Are we gonna break again too? No. Oh boy. Our deck is really good against their deck with Hullbreacher. Even if this gets countered, we actually have Yogg-Will to bring it back. I want to play this in response. Okay. Nine life to give. The Google Doc with road lines? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? We're gonna do the thing. Oh, Hercule's recall windfall? Hold on, I want to win with Sheoldred though. Let's cast Words of Wisdom. Oh man. All right, I guess we'll win with Time Walk, or I guess we'll win with Tendrils. Well, that was a game of Magic the Gathering. Oh boy. That was such a cool windfall. All right, so we're on the draw against this deck. We don't really have actually cards to bring in. We already have 4 Hullbreachers in the main. I'm gonna take Windfall out on the draw. Maybe this is an opposition game. It's just 4 Saga, so probably not. Maybe we just play a second Hercules. It's like fine. It's not really what I like to be doing. I think we'll take out the Swamp and play another Hercules, I guess. I don't think it's like great, but it's acceptable. So the good news is Hullbreacher and Sheoldred are insane against my opponent's deck. They're super, super good. Words of Wisdom is... Why? It's just always Words of Wisdom. Okay, I mean, that's nuts. Sure, keep. Just gonna get rid of this Emerald, and then we'll just Time Walk and try to draw a Force back up, and then we'll Tinker them. Might actually be able to Narset them. Well, it's actually better. Like, Tinker's probably... Like, Narset might also be game-winning. Well, they have a Saga on turn 1. Maybe that's not actually true. I'm going to play Time Walk here as my second spell, so I don't get Mind Break trapped. And then I'm going to play out my other Moxen. They have 4 cards left in hand. I probably am going to lead on Narset. They'll probably counter it if they have a counter. And then we can Tinker on the next turn if we get one. Okay, they didn't have a counter. They do have a Saga, though, but we just hit a Mystical. Okay, so we should just take the Mystical and Mystical for Force and then Tinker with Force back up. That's got to be good enough. All right, well, now I'm not going to do that. Okay. I don't want to just randomly lose. All right, so that went okay. Obviously the Dredge match, we just got completely rolled by Matt. Matt just had way too much for us to deal with. And then I think I played badly in the 4-color Deathrite Shaman matchup. Maybe it was a bad keep. Maybe there was a sequence I could have done. I'm sure that the comments will let me know what I could have done better in that that 1 4-color Deathrite Shaman game. So my overall impression was that Sheoldred was good. And not only was Sheoldred good, Sheoldred was good on its own. Like, without Wheels, Sheoldred was still fine. And then with Wheels, Sheoldred actually did even more, which was pretty sweet. We're gonna try to fix this deck. This was the deck that we played. Obviously, we're gonna cut the Words of Wisdom. So we've cut the Words of Wisdom for a Fluster and a Ponder, and we'll see where we want to go with the rest of this deck. Probably gonna do that right now at the end of this video. Seems like it's worthwhile. I think that the twisting and everything is fine. I don't think it's actually bad. The question is, do we want Tendrils, Cabal Ritual, and Dark Rituals? I'm like not convinced we want these cards, but I'm also going to be like, how do we play Sheoldred? I don't know how you play Sheoldred here. I guess you can play Moxen, Mox Opals. Maybe it's you still play Dark Rite, you just don't play Tendrils and Cabal Ritual. Just feels weird. I don't know. But I think we want to just play like Preordains, right? I don't. Dark Ritual was like game winning and also game losing, right? Yeah, we had it come up once against Dredge, but like normally we could just wheel with Sheoldred out, right? Switch Ritual with Deathrite Shaman. It's an interesting idea. I don't think we're particularly suited to play Deathrite Shaman, though. I'm not convinced this deck will be able to play Deathrite Shaman very well. I just don't like the idea of Dark Ritual with no... I mean, maybe we're just supposed to play Breach Brain Freeze. That doesn't really... Dark Ritual doesn't really help with that either. No, so that, like nothing is gonna fill this ritual role, right? I guess you would have to just play like Preordain. I don't know. I think you need to like if we want to keep ritual, I feel like we have to do something else with the rituals, right? We can't just be ritualing Sheoldred. Maybe we can. At that case, do you like play more Sheoldreds? I mean, we could play Jar and we could play Bargain, or we can play more Citadels. There's certainly options there. Opposition agents. I think we already have too many threes. I do think that Jar works fine here. Maybe we just keep 2 Fluster, 2 Preordain. I actually think this Jar looks okay. And I normally don't say that. I normally say, it's 2022, why are you playing Memory Jar? Maybe this actually looks nice, actually. I kind of like this with 2 Preordains. Mana Vault? I'm not sure. The black is the hard part about Sheoldred, not the 2 colorless. We could just play Karn and Jar, and that gives us some more Dark Ritual targets. Doesn't seem bad. That actually kind of feels better, right? So we ended up with a Ponder and a Preordain. Yeah, Karn Jar is probably reasonable. And now we have to fix our board for Karn, though. That could be challenging. How do we fix our board for Karn? I guess we could choose not to. Lattice. Shredder? Doesn't really feel like a Shredder deck, does it? Maybe it's fine as a Shredder deck. Do we really want no removal spells? I feel like I really want this island for shops, though. Bullmox Dark Ritual feels like a Shredder deck to you. I don't know how you would ever fit Shredder in this deck, really. I guess you could play 2 Shredders instead of Ponders and Preordains. Doesn't hurt. I just like am pretty worried that we can't trigger it. But maybe, I mean, getting rid of extra Dark Rituals is really nice, and it means I don't have to play Dak Fade in. Maybe some Shredders. When I play Shredder, I usually want to play 4 Shredder, but maybe that's just a bad outlook. What if you just did that? That's certainly an interesting idea. I kind of don't want to play this Karn, though. I just don't really want to fit it into my deck. No, I think an Opal is fine here. I don't think an Opal is bad. I kind of want to include... I mean, this isn't the best looking dress down deck. But I kind of think I just want to go back to the 3rd Fluster at that point. It's a weird Shredder deck, but I think it vibes. It does help because I want to be able to get rid of these Dark Rituals when they're bad. This is an interesting looking deck now. I'm not sure Swamp is correct anymore. I think Island is now correct. Well, Island is so bad with SHEOLDRED, though. I'm concerned about my mana base. I freaking hate this Volcanic Island. I hate this Volcanic Island so much. Can I cut? I can't really cut wheel, though, can I? I want to cut wheel and play an Island, a Swamp, 3C, and a Tolarian Academy. We're actually a little light on lands. I think this deck should be running 14 lands. So maybe I cut wheel, add Island, and then add a 4th Underground Sea. Yeah, I think the wheel is good in this deck. I just don't like the Volcanic Island. We're already pretty on the edge of bad wheels already. Like, we're playing Windfall and Memory Jar, which are both cards that are not great. Yeah, the problem is, like, Opal as a red source versus Volcanic Island as a red source are 2 very different things, because the Volcanic Island represents 7 draws, right? Because you have 7 fetches. Yeah, it's 8 draws. There are 8 Volcanic Islands in my deck, and there would only be 1 Opal. No, I'm not playing Pyroblast. I want to never care about red mana unless I have a wheel in my hand. Didn't I have a Tendrils in the deck? I did have a Tendrils. I don't think you need a Tendrils. Commit to Memory. I don't even think it's terrible because it gives us a removal spell, but the problem is the removal spell costs 4. And most of the time you want a removal spell to get rid of Collector Roof. We might just supposed to have this island in the main anyways. I already have a jar. Jar is restricted. Right? I'm pretty sure jar is restricted. I'm pretty sure jar is restricted. We could also play a second top in this deck. I'm not convinced that this jar is actually good, right? It doesn't actually combo super well with Hullbreacher. It's not bad. I don't know. I'm not sold on. I think this jar is... Well, then I just cut all of the win con. I guess I added Shredders. So it's probably fine. Kind of want a second top is what I'm thinking. Top is so good with Shredder. I just got rid of the 2 cards I added, though. I don't really think you need a Sedgemoor Witch. Like, I don't really want more 3-drops. I think the only thing I'm interested in right now is my mana base. Maybe Swamp Volcanic is fine. I don't know if I'm going to play another league. It's 8. It's been 2. Maybe I'll play another league. It's possible. All right, something I gotta end that YouTube video though. Something like this. We're gonna try to make it less memey, more feasible, and new videos on my YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I will see you then.